In front of you is a senator who loves to be elected, Senator Jinggoy Estrada. So the same goes for his proposal to get rid to K to 12. Some parents, some PTA associations, some local government, some media practitioners love the idea, some hate the idea. So I know this is going to be a long discussion, but I'm really curious what you have in mind, sir. Are you for the abolition of the K to 12, or are you for the full implementation? What are your,
Yes.
in a nutshell, leaning towards? Of the good gentleman from Tarlac and, as Senator Win described, another champion for education. Excuse my voice, Mr. President. I'm praying to be charismatic but woke up asthmatic. So medyo masama yung sa chest, but I cannot help but stand up because kung ano man nararamdaman ko does not compare really with the state of education. At gusto ko rin pagbigyan yung dati natin na Senate President Mig Subiri na nagsabing dapat mas maraming discussion talaga sa floor. Diba? So if the gentleman from Tarlac would allow me only 2 questions.
Of course, Mr. President.
Sige. First of all, I thank God that you were the first to speak, and the first topic is education. I know there are a lot of political issues like the impeachment, the budget, the SONA, contra SONA, but I think all of us will agree not only should the highest budget allocation go to education, but the highest priority, no? Even if you talk on the spiritual side values, dapat yan sa education pa rin. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew solved many of the problems of Singapore with a 5- and 10-year plan in the basic education sector. So my question, Mr. President, is this. Together with His Honor and many of us, we were here during the time na diniscuss yung K to 12. And if you remember, dalawa lang kami ni Senator Trillanes ang nag-object among the present here who were part of that. I think the whole world went K to 12 except 2 other countries. But one of those 2 other countries is top 4 in education in the whole world, no? And then minention din kasi kawawa naman mga engineers natin, they will need another 2 years, etc. But when we computed that, that was less than 1%. And the basic objection is, kung baga sa kotse, galing sa karag-karag na vintage na I won't name a brand kasi lahat naman ng brands ay maganda, suddenly, right before K to 12, parang Lexus or Mercedes-Benz na tayo. To be fair to the former president, ang daming naayos sa education. Yung innovations niya sa bidding out the classrooms as a whole, yung pagtaas ng sweldo ng teachers. I mean, we have to give it to him, to Brother Armin, they did that, no? But they proposed a giant step to K to 12. Unfortunately, many of the things we predicted then, one, hindi masosustain. Even Sensani, who I'm happy is now the DepEd Secretary, and of course it was his father who was the main proponent of this. Ang promise kasi nila, number 1, after graduating high school, pwede ka na magtrabaho, parang Germany. That means yung track, kompleto.
Yep.
So, sa SONA, in-announce ng Presidente, pag senior high ka at gusto mo na mag-electronic or electrical, hindi yun yung promise sa K-12. Ang promise sa K-12, first year high school pa lang, junior high school, may track na. Whether yan ay sports, whether yan ay sa fashion, sa creative, sa pananamit, sa computers, internet, no? Hindi sa 5th year. Hindi sa 4th year, sa 5th year. Nandun pa lang yun yun yung pangako. Another pangako is that the GE subjects na lahat tayo na nag-college ay nadanasan natin yan. It was 80% or 70% of our first 2 SEMs. Ililipat yan sa high school para ang mga college ay nangako na i-cut to 3 years. Ngayon, kailangan pa natin ng win-win solution through Senator Win by filing a bill to force them na magbawas. So, noong time ko po, I think 18 units full load kami, 21 units okay pa rin, hindi pa overload, 23 units yung overload. Eh ngayon, Senwin, ano ba, 20, 26, 28, basta
20 plus.
yung units. So, yung promise ng K-12, baliktad pa yung mga nangyari. And I can go on, and I know you agree. I had the chance to hear some of your comment speeches, more on social media than on the campaign. No? So, right in front of you is a senator who loves to be loved and loves to be hated. Senator Jinggoy Estrada. So, the same goes for his proposal to get rid to K-12. Some parents, some PTA associations, some local government, some media practitioners love the idea, some hate the idea. So I know this is going to be a long discussion, but I'm really curious what you have in mind, sir. Are you for the abolition of the K-12 or are you for the full implementation? What are your,
Yes.
in a nutshell, leaning towards?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yung problema ho sa K-12 directly affects the employability of our students. At malinaw po yung posisyon natin na ang pagtatrabaho sa dulo ng edukasyon mahalaga. No, mahalaga na pagkatapos ng educational journey mo, may trabaho ka, no? You should be employable, you should have the skills that are needed to be hired. And one of the bills that we filed, pinapalapit po niya yung mga eskwelahan at yung curriculum dun sa mga employment opportunities. This directly will affect the grade 11, grade 12 system. So maganda po ang pangako ng grade 11, grade 12, pero alam natin hindi po yan ang natutupad on the ground, no? Kung may reforma na pwedeng gawin para maging employable yung mga estudyante natin, then maybe it deserves one more shot. But kung talagang hindi kaya, then we will tackle the solution suggested by Senator Estrada. So ang mangyayari po dito, maghihearing po tayo, and we will hear everyone's position on the matter. The position from our fellow senators here, mga eksperto, from DepEd itself, apektado rin dyan syempre ang CHED at ang mga kolehiyo, and hopefully we can come to a solution na malinaw. No? At this point, lahat po tayo nagbibigay ng solusyon, magandang pakinggan yan, wala pong off the table, everything is on the table, mapag-usapan, and as a committee and as a body, we can come up with the reforms together. But definitely, hindi solusyon yung walang gagawin. The solution is not doing nothing. Kasi kung wala tayong gagawin, tuloy po yung problema natin dyan. We have to do something. No?
I agree with you 100%, but I feel...
If I may, with the
Yes.
indulgence of my two colleagues, if I may be recognized,
Majority
Mr. President. Mr. President, just to point out something, Mr. President, because I cannot help but butt in, Mr. President, with regard to the challenges that we are facing in implementing K-12 program. Mr. President, in some countries right now, they're already talking about including the artificial intelligence subjects in all in a curriculum of the secondary and basic education, Mr. President. You can go to China and they're already implementing it. Until now, in the Philippines, we are still talking about debating on mother tongue use. What I'm just trying to point out, Mr. President, is that in some areas where K-12 is being implemented, for example, and the promise is you will get a job as soon as you finish K-12. But in some, I would not say some, but in many places of the country where there's no resources, educational facilities. For example, Mr. President, you talk about AI, you talk about robotics. 2 years ago, I was in Singapore and I met Robot Ella, a barista who can do 200 cups of coffee in an hour. But 2 months ago, it's already here in Mega Mall. So if we're not going to do something about it, if the schools, the basic education facilities are not ready, then we will only continue to offer hair cutting, massage therapy, which I don't, wala po akong ano doon, no? I'm not against the course. Pero kung yun lang po lagi,
Yes.
at yun lang yung idinala sa isang particular community, then walang upskilling, walang retooling, then the problem will continue to arise, especially with the rise of artificial intelligence. So just to point out, Mr. President, the importance of really looking into this, and I don't think, I don't agree actually, Mr. President, of abolishing K-12, but if we are not going to implement it properly, then that's the only thing we can do right now, probably think about but abolishing or going back to our usual yung limited time, Mr. President, in the basic education, baka ho, babalik na naman tayo doon sa dati at hindi tayo mag-move forward. Just to put that on record, Mr. President.
Mr.
Thank
President.
you, distinguished colleague. Thank you, Senator Cayetano. Thank you, Chairperson.
Mr. President, just to add to the Majority
please
Floor
proceed.
Leader's point.
Yes, please
Yes.
proceed.
Mr. President, ang nangyayari po kasi, yung pagpili ng mga kurso, hindi siya base sa job market information. So, actually, hindi pa nga yung available eh. Kadalasan po yung nangyayari, kung ano yung gusto ng mga magulang, kung ano yung gusto ng mga tao, hindi po kung ano yung base sa mga available jobs in the area. So, yung isang batas po na na-file po, isang bill na na-file po natin, si STEP Act, School to Employment Program, binubuo po yung labor market information na siyang magbibigay ng datos sa mga eskwelahan, both in high school and in college, para yung mga kurso pwede pong ma-rationalize, no? Sa gayon po, mas sigurado yung pagtatrabaho ng mga kabataan natin kasi yung kurso na tinitake up nila, talagang may opportunity na magtrabaho dun sa lugar. Ang nangyayari ho ngayon, base sa survey, base sa kung anong gusto, in the end, hindi nagmamatch. Kung may natutunan mang skills, baka kailangan umalis pa dun sa munisipyo, dun sa syudad, or worse, hindi rin siya yung mga skills na hinahanap ng merkado. So, magsisimula po talaga yan sa integration ng ating labor market information. Alam ko po, the Majority Floor Leader is the expert on technical vocational matters here, no? So, alam po niya na ang TechVoc schools, kadalasan meron niyang labor market information para yung offerings po nila, swak talaga sa pangangailangan. Kung nagagawa po yan ng TechVoc institutions natin, ba't hindi nagagawa ng ating mga senior high school na siyang nagbibigay rin ng NC1 at NC2 certification? So marami ho talagang reformang kailangan gawin and we would welcome the expertise of the good Majority Floor Leader during the deliberation. So maraming salamat po, sir. Salamat,
Mr. President, just to react to the gentleman from Tarlac saying, we cannot do nothing. Okay, let me agree with him 101%. And to be fair to all our past presidents, I don't think they're not doing nothing. My point is, we have to do something radical.
Yeah.
Kasi mabigat masyado yung problema. For example, in Metro Manila and many highly urbanized places, what we're talking about, job matching, etc., ganyan, malayo pa yon. Bakit? Half day lang sila eh. 3 oras lang, 4 na oras. Wala ng classroom, kulang na ng teachers. Pwera pa yung 1 linggo na walang pasok dahil bumabagyo. Karamihan sa kanila, wala rin naman tablets or Apple computer labs or anything like this, no? So the problem is really much more basic. The problem, that the bigger parts of the problem goes back to pre-K to 12 eh. Nabanggit ko kanina, bakit ngayon mas maraming more than 18 units. Lumalabas sa EDCOM, 122 units ang college eh. So 122 divided by 3 years, that's only about 40 units per year. So kaya naman pala ng 3 years. Bakit? The longer you ask a parent to sustain yung pag-aaral ng bata, the bigger the chance na mag-drop out. In Taguig, we have a 100% scholarship program. Pagka-graduate mo ng high school, we'll give you automatically 15,000 para makapag-enroll, whether TESDA yan or college. If it's a center of excellence like UP, we'll give you 50,000. Kung teacher ka or police, we'll give you 80 to 120,000 magmasteral. But you know, you check the dropout rates, comparable pa rin sa ibang lugar. Kasi nga yung scholarship program natin at pinagyayabang natin full scholarship, 30% lang yun ang gastos eh. Yung out of pocket is 70%. And the additional kindergarten, which is good, ang kindergarten, 100% good. But yung additional 2 years, tapos yung nag-additional 2 years ka nga, half day ka naman. Ano yun? Diba? So again, I know this is going to be a long discussion. Mr. Testdaman, Mr. Trabaho ng Senado stood up. I remember we were discussing how much, Brad, is the budget now of TESDA compared to when you were TESDA? Times 3 na? Times 4 na? At it's times 3 na. Ang pangako nun, yung TESDA i-integrate sa high school. Ngayon may 3-year course na yung TESDA, naging CHED na rin ang TESDA. Tapos may mga course ang TESDA, sing mahal na rin ng mga college. So again, I say all of this with passion because nga, you know, I saw it before my eyes, kung ano yung successful, pero kung ano din yung dumudurog sa sistema. But the solution is there, but we have to be radical. 165,000 schools, binanggit to ng EDCOM, school classrooms. Binanggit to ni Senator Tulfo, I guess, sobrang dami na nagsusumbong sa Tulfo, kaya buti, madadalawa na Tulfo natin. So mahahati na po ang trabaho sa mga nagsusumbong sa atin. You know, Senwin and I, hindi po ako magaling mag-compute, no? But you have to hand it to Senwin. Not only is he very good in education, singkit din, kaya magaling din sa calculator, magaling sa math, sa business. Alam nyo, kinocompute namin, kung sa 1 million Senwin, 165 billion lang yon. That's almost half or two-thirds lang nung baha budget ng DPWH.
Exactly.
1 trillion yung budget ng DPWH. Gusto nyo tapusin in 1 year ang kakulangan sa classroom? Medyo bitin pa yung 165 kasi sa Metro Manila, walang lupa. But the point is, I'm agreeing with you, sir, but I think the task of this 20th Congress is not only for change or to do something, but it is really the radical change that is needed, the hard decisions, putting our money where our mouth is. I campaigned in my first term in 1998 telling may kababayan in Taguig, tiisin muna natin na napuputikan ang paa natin. Minsan nagkakaroon ng alipunga dahil sa baha. Pero gawin natin lahat ng classrooms natin. And now, awa ng Diyos. You know, maganda edukasyon, mga nagtatrabaho sa BGC, mga taga-Taguig. But kung inuna namin ng inuna yung flood control, and it's hard to be in a flood, 3 months kung paano kaming bahain before, no? But to go to my second question, dahil matalas na ang tingin sa akin nung dating Senate President natin at napaka-importante, and I support his privileged speech, but it's in connection with that, no? When Isabong happened, and now I can tell the story, that was one of the reasons that there was a clamor to remove me from the speakership because I refused to even calendar the franchise of Isabong. I knew how addictive and kung gaano kalaking problema yan, no? So ngayon, wala ng pogo, thank God, and thank you everyone here who worked on that. Having said that, pinag-iisipan pa ng Malacanang kung ano ang epekto at anong balance ng online gaming. So my question is this, because nga I'm eager to hear Senator Subiri, former Senator Subiri, but shouldn't CHED and TESDA and DepEd, not only kay Sen Sani now, I said this during the time of VP Sara, I said this during Duterte administration, shouldn't they weigh in? Kasi can you imagine, sasabihin ng PAGCOR, we're making 50 billion. Tapos ang mga bata, tuturuan mo, kulang-kulang tayo ng mahigit 1 trillion, papayag ka sa 50 billion na kikitain, tapos ang mga bata, tuturuan mong hard work, mag-aral ka, huwag kang magsusugal. And then pag uwi nila, yung driver na sumusundo, nagsusugal. Sa church, kahit kahapon sa anong Monday, di ba? May nanonood na sabong habang binoboto yung speaker. So, do you feel, no, as one of the champions of education that despite being in the same cabinet, certain members of the cabinet that deal with our children, no, and deal with values should have a hard stand?
I
Diba?
agree.
Thank you.
Mr. President, just to respond to the query of the gentleman from Taguig, I agree completely. No, hindi ho dapat natin ipamigay ang kinabukasan ng mga anak natin para sa ilang bilyong buwis na makukuha natin. And I'm sure, Mr. President, this issue will be tackled here. That's the privileged speech of the gentleman from Bukidnon. And I will support all measures to ban online gambling. So thank you very much, Mr. President.
Well, after hearing that, Mr. President, may I offer to transfer to Senator Bam the Committee on Science and Technology, given that this is intimately related with his advocacy of dito sa basic education. So we have agreed that he'll give me 1 year to finish some bills that I started or that all of you filed. I didn't file that, but I heard it. But after hearing him, and he was my seatmate in the first day, I think earlier is better. So if the good gentleman will just allow me to hear some of the bills we started, at the right time, I'll ask the majority leader at his discretion to transfer the chairmanship to you, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And